Hey, hey, hey. Happy Wednesday to you. This is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I am known as your procrastination strategist, your behavior change expert. I help you to build unshakable confidence. Stop procrastinating, and you got it. Get your dreams out of your head into your life. So glad to be here this evening. Super excited about being here. When you come on, just hit the share button. Go ahead and invite someone and um, let me know where you're tuning in from. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Super excited to be here. I pray that you have had an amazing day, that you've gotten your little that you have gotten your Christmas shopping and cooking out of the way and all those different sorts of types of things. And so, super excited about being here. Come on in. When you come on, let me know you're on here. I see the numbers going up, but I cannot see you. Um, would love to see who is on here, where you're tuning in from. You see what the title is. Are you doing what you love or doing what you can? Oh, that sounds really juicy. Are you doing what you love or are you doing what you can? A lot of times you hear people say, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. Good evening, Belinda. Good evening, Princess. Thank you so much for joining. We tell ourselves we're doing the best that we can. So, the question for you from me, are you doing what you love to do? Not what you um not what you're doing. Now, if you're doing what you love, great. But are you doing what you love or are you doing what you can? And many times, good evening, Diana. Diane, thank you so much for joining. A lot of times, people are not doing what they love, they're doing what they can because, I want to tell you why. Because they don't think they have a choice. A lot of people are fearful of doing something different because they don't think they have a choice. They don't think they can. They don't think that they are enough. They don't think that it is possible. But I want to come to tell you today, newsflash. You can. You are enough. And yes, it is possible. Good evening, April. Thank you so much for joining. um, it is possible. You do not have to do the things that you don't want to do. And I know somebody's like, well, how is that possible? I have to do this. No, there's no have tos. It's choose tos. There are no have tos. There are choose tos. It doesn't matter how good or bad the situation is. We choose to do what we do. And I know somebody will argue about that. They think that, well, that's not true. I have to do this because I have to, pay my rent and I have to pay mortgage and I have to pay. No, we don't have any have tos. We have choose tos. And the things that we do to be able to take care of the things that we have to take care of, those things, we have a choice on how we do that. The problem is, this is the problem. It's not that we have to do what we've always done. It's not that we have to do the thing that we're doing. It's that we are not aware. We are not aware of the other opportunities. We are not aware of how to bring the things that we need to us. We are not aware how to obtain it. That's the problem. Have to is not the problem. That's not our problem because we do not have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. And I know somebody said, well, that's easier said than done. We have a choice. You know, we have a choice. It says that, that life is the C between the B and the D. Life is the choices that we make between birth and death. We can choose to do this, we can choose not to do a thing. We can choose one thing over over another. Sometimes we think we're choosing, rightly so. We think that we may be choosing the right stuff. But you know what? Sometimes the things that we choose is the right thing at the time, but down the road is not. It may be the right thing for a day. Sometimes we have no clue of knowing it until there's a lesson or some cost associated with it, sometimes hurt and a little pain. But what we have to do is take the lesson and leave the pain and stop the bleeding and stop thinking that we have to remain in that place to continue hurting. Continue bleeding, continue going through it. I put a question out there earlier today, and it says, sometimes we are involved with some of the most craziest people, and I know we don't like to really acknowledge it. Sometimes we're in love with some of the most craziest people. But then when do you stop the bleeding? And how is it that, somebody that is not on the same page with you, somebody that that's not they're not on your cheering squad, they're on that squad of negativity, they're on that squad of you're not enough and you're never going to do anything, that is not possible. To me, them sound like hating words. Those are hater words. Those are not words of encouragement. Those are words of negativity. Those are words of discouragement. Those are words that would try to bring you down instead of building you up. So how is it that we expect that our enemy, our frenemies, those that are envious and jealous of us, how do we expect for them to love us? Now that's a really good question. And the reason it's a really good question, because sometimes you have individuals in relationships that have a problem with what the other one is doing. Why? Because it looks like to them that they're being more successful, they're making more money, they may be getting more attention, they may be getting more acknowledgement, they may be being called upon more. I don't know exactly what the circumstances be in all cases, but you have people in the house that will not support you because they have a problem with what you're doing. How does that work? You can't support the person. You don't cheer the person on. You're not happy for them. You don't tell them that you're glad that they're living their dream. Good evening, AP. Thank you so much for joining. So how can a house divided? How could a house divided stand? How could relationships, businesses, and partnerships, friendships, how could those relationships stand when it is divided? Because there is some uncommon ground. So the thing that you have to ask yourself is, how am I able to love somebody? Or how am I able to stay in a situation that's against me? Good evening, D. Thank you so much for joining. See, some of you, you're trying to stay in a situation because you feel like it's going to get better. No, you're going to have to get you some tough skin and say, this is not going to work, and I got to stop this bleeding, because if I don't stop this bleeding, I'm going to kill myself. If I don't stop this bleeding, I'm going to die. And anything that is not living is dead. It is dead. So you have to evaluate. You have to evaluate the relationships. And this is not even really about a romantic relationship, but you have some dysfunction in those too. But you have to evaluate the people that you allow to surround you. You have to evaluate the things that they speak into your life. And you are the one that is responsible for guarding your ear gate and your eye gate. You're the one that is responsible for, the things that you allow to come in. So my question is, are you doing what you love, or are you doing what you can? And a lot of times we simply do what we can because we think we don't have a choice. We have to stay in this situation. We have to work that job. We have to stay in that business. We have to stay in that relationship. There are no have tos. There are some choose tos. There are no have tos. We don't have to do anything. Now, the things that we do, we tie a reason to it. We say, well, I have to do this because of my kids, and I have to do this because of this, and I have to do this because of that. And then we get really emotional with it, and we think that that is the real meaning to what we have going on, versus us really acknowledging and being honest with ourselves to say, you know what? I am afraid to walk away from this situation because of ABC. You know, a lot of times people are afraid to walk away from different situations. Again, this is not about romantic relationships. This is about relationships overall. This is about the relationship with yourself. This is not just all the time about relationships with other people. Sometimes you can have a bad relationship with yourself. Because how many of you know a lot of times you're doing more talking and listening to yourself than you are other people? Because, see, sometimes when people are talking to you, there are certain things that you are tune out that they're saying. You know, you will check out. But see, you're listening to everything that you tell yourself. You will tell yourself you're not good enough, you can't do it, nobody want what you have, nobody's gonna buy what you're selling. You'll tell yourself all different types of things that you're not enough, it's not possible, and you know what? Those stories that you tell yourself, they're really not your story. That's where you got some stuff from somebody else. I'm always amazed how you can like everything about you until somebody have a conflict with it. And that's where it starts with our younger people. They can be at home liking the stuff they have until they step foot in public, until they step foot at school, and when somebody else say it's ugly, then all of a sudden they don't like it. That's why you have a lot of kids that's in school now, when they need correctional lenses, and we know those are glasses. When they need glasses, they, before they go to school, let them get them during like Christmas break, or summertime. They love their glasses. But the first day they go to school, and the first person, and do you know the ironic part about that is the person that's making fun of them about them wearing glasses, they have on glasses. And I guess the kids don't really pay that any attention, that the person that's making fun of you about your glasses, they have on glasses. The mind battleground, the main battleground is our mind. And you know what? That battle we can't lose, princess. We can't lose that battle. We cannot lose that battle. And getting back to my glass example with younger people, but when you think about it, younger people are older people, and older people are younger people. We're all people, and we do the same thing as adults. You like what you're doing until somebody on social media tell you it's crap, until somebody in your community tell you it's no good, until somebody in your family tell you that it's not up to par and it's not like you like it. It look good to you. But then when you start evaluating with somebody else's opinion, and you start evaluating with somebody else's eyes and ears, and then you start feeling like it's not going to work. But I want to encourage you today to not prematurely give up on your dream, on yourself, on your idea. Because, see, sometimes in the beginning phase, it looks messed up. Have you ever thought about what a surgery, when they have to cut you open, it's like a bloody murder in the room. But they're not cutting you to kill you, they're cutting to fix you up. Cutting to get you healed, cutting to get you better, cutting to put you back together. When you think about how that process look in the process of it, think about it. Think about how your life can look tore up from the flow up in the process of it. But as you do things day after day, as you do things time after time, and you say, man, this begin to look a little bit better. Man, when I first had my car wreck, and you can still see I have a scar here. First car wreck I had, I busted my chin open. I cut my tongue. I knocked out a couple of my front teeth, right? And so when I with an impact like that, and I had broke my jaw, so I had a lot of swelling. This was in 1995. I had a lot of swelling, and my face was really big, and it was warped to one side. It was big. It was like 3 times. It was really swole. I had, like I said, metal plate. Still have a metal plate in my jaw, but I had a metal plate in my jaw. A lot of swelling and warped to the side. And you can look at that and say, man, When I first saw my face, I'm like, is it going to stay like this? But every day as the swelling began to go down. Now, it took a long time for even this scar right here. It kind of smoothed in some, but it took a long time for me to be able to adjust to that, because for a long time I still had like a whopped mouth. I did. It took a while. It took a while. It was just like, I mean, over the years, it's been 24 years now, but it took a while. And a lot of things that I saw, people didn't see, but when I looked in the mirror, I saw it, and it used to irritate me a little bit. But like now, these are my these scars that I have, all the scars I have, that lets me know that I done been in battle, baby, and we got the victory. But you have to, the point of me telling you that was this: it don't look good in the process. And sometimes it looks like when you're taking it one step at a time, it seems like it's really slow. My wreck at 18, I cut my jaw and slivered my tongue, but God, amen. I still got a cut on the side of my tongue. But when you think about that thing, every day it got better. Every day it got better. Princess, every day when you think about, got better. And mine was at 19. And I keep, and this is not the first car. I don't know what I did with that picture, but I had it. But I keep this one. This is the second car, but I keep it right there, right here beside me. So I oftentimes never will I would never forget this anyway. I would never forget the impact of this wreck. I would never forget this, because I was in the hospital a really long time, almost 2 months. I walked on crutches for a year. And, there was all different sorts of types of things that had to happen, and there was all different sorts of types of things that happened in the process. But then when you look at it, when you can say, when I look back over my life, and when I think things over, when you look at what you've been through. So this is my thing. It doesn't matter about what the process is. Life is a process. So what I want you to really get a hold on is that you don't have to settle for what you don't want. You don't have to settle for what you get. Because see, for me, I could have just settled for getting SSI disability, $568 a month. Now I can make that in an hour. You hear me? I can make that in an hour that they were trying to give me a month. A whole 31 days. Right? But if I would have said I'm doing what I can, if I would have said I am doing what I can, that really would not have been true. That wouldn't have been true. Now, I may not have been able to do the things that I used to do. Good evening, Apostle. Thank you so much for joining. I may not have been able to do the things that I used to do at that time. But it doesn't mean that I had to settle for what was given to me versus what I knew I could do. Because see, now somebody, they may get tired of hearing their story. But never, ever, ever, ever shall I forget. And I'm not going to quit telling it. Because see, sometimes we would get, to a point that we don't need that story no more. And we'll get to a point that we didn't got so high and we didn't got so mighty that we forgot where we came from. But never will I forget. And see, every time when I look at my face and when I look at the scars on my legs and when I look at the scars on my ankle and I look at the scars, when I see the scars, I can't forget. But you know what? I'm not in regret. I'm not in regret. And so I find that I do what I desire to do because I designed the life that I want. I do what I want to do. I do the things that I love. This right here that I'm doing right now, I love, love, love this. I can get up and do this all day, and all night. I can do it every day. I love to do this. This don't feel like work to me. But you know what? The work that is put in here, the impact that is making, the lives that are being changed, the difference. Can't nobody tell it like you tell it. So we have to tell our testimony. For people that knew me then, they called me a walking miracle. Could have been dead. Could have been gone. But see, at that time, God didn't see fit for that to be. Keep telling the testimony. It will never get old for the ones who need to hear it. Amen. Amen. See, this right here, that testimony, when I can look at this car and say that I lived, this looks like some stuff on TV. I'm going to get this right one day when I'm doing this. But this looked like some stuff on TV. You wouldn't think, okay, that all this beauty came out of this mess. But you know, beauty is for ashes. And see, for somebody, when you say cuteness and all this and that, they may feel like you're being arrogant and you're thinking more than you. See, when people don't know your story, when they don't know your story, they would judge you prematurely. They'll judge you prematurely. So the question that I have for you again, I want you to really think about it. Are you doing what you love? Or are you doing what you can? Are you telling yourself the lie? I'm doing the best I can with what I have. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you are not. You're doing what you can with what you think you can. What you think you can. Because see, there is a vast, there's a big thing. There's so many things that you have not even experienced, you haven't seen, you haven't even imagined, you can't fathom. There is a whole world outside of our world out there. A whole world. Do you know how much of the world that you haven't seen, that I have not seen? I haven't even imagined. I was getting ready to buy a magazine. It was telling you about, I think, some of the most exotic places to be in the world, right? But the book was $12.99. I'm thinking I'm not going to pay no $12.99 for no magazine for me to tear it up because I'm getting ready to work on my vision board for 2020. I love to do vision boards every year. I've been doing them for probably about 5 years now, since about 2015. But you know the amazing part about a vision board, for you to put together some pictures, magazines, words, whatever. And then when you look back at it and you see things, I got on my vision board back in 2015 that, I would see my daughter graduate. She graduated from UCA, that I would see my house paid for. My house is paid for. So when you think about all the things that you can do, and see, for somebody, they'll call that bragging. No, I call that visualizing it and great planning and believing and walking by faith. And not just by that, taking the necessary action. Because see, some of us, we want to just pray all the time. But there comes some times when you can't be praying, you got to be moving. Because see, if you're laying out in the middle of the road and a car coming and you just laying there praying and not scooting and booting and getting yourself out the way, sometimes you're going to go and get hit. You're gonna get ran over. You can't be praying and playing with God, thinking, I'm just going to see is this car going to hit me. Because see, they come flying through there and don't see you. What happened? You hit. God is a good God. And he is good all the time. They just see your glory, but they have no clue about your story. See, that's why I can get up and talk. I can get up and do the things that I do because I know where he brought me from. See, a lot of times when people see you, they see you where you are and they believe that's where you've always been. But you haven't always been able to do what you do. You haven't always been able to have the things that you have. You know that you have not always even been the person that you are. Because see, some of us, we're just meeting each other in these social media streets. Take the necessary action to bring the vision board to reality. Yes, I tell them, honey, you got to get your vision off your board and get it into your life. But guess what? It's not gonna jump up off your It's not gonna jump up off your poster board. It's not gonna jump up off your canvas or whatever you put it on. Baby, you're gonna have to put some act. You're gonna have to put some feet to your faith. You're going to have to put some feet to your faith. That's how you begin to see it, to make it your reality when you put feet to that thing. Because see, a lot of times we miss it because we save. So we sit up in our rocking chair year after year, with our hair tied up year after year, and we just rocking and we just talking and we telling everybody about our story and said, I'm just waiting on the Lord, and if it's meant to be, and God's timing. But see, he told you long time ago, get up, open the door. What you need is on the other side. Because see, if we start thinking about, the instructions that he gave, when he told Abraham, I need you to go to a country, leave your father's house. Leave your father's house, leave your kin folks, leave your stuff, and I'm going to show you a place. He didn't ask him no questions, and I need you to tell me, the direction and what's going to happen. See, sometimes we need to know too much before we'll start doing the first thing. We need to know too much. See, we want to know 20 steps when we haven't did the first step, and sometimes our steps can be cut. We need to hear that. Yes. Sometimes our steps can be cut in half if we would just listen, if we would just follow the steps that are ordered for the good man and for the good woman, for the good man and the good woman. Yes. Put some feet to your faith, baby. You're going to have to walk your faith out. You can't sit it out. You're going to have to walk it out. Faith requires action. Because faith without works is dead. And I like to say it's dead. It is dead. So in order for you to do things that you love, you're going to have to first believe that you can. So I want to encourage each of you on tonight, if you don't have belief in yourself, because see, a lot of people, you can be the biggest cheerleader for somebody else and for everybody else, but you don't believe that you can do it. You don't believe that you have it. You don't believe that you can make it happen, but you can believe that everybody else do. So this is my challenge for you tonight. This is my challenge. I want you to cheer yourself on like you do everybody else. That pep talk that you give everybody else, you telling them how great they are. You telling them how possible it is. You telling them how talented they are. I want you to tell yourself that today. It's okay. Give yourself permission to win. Give yourself permission to win. I've been in here earlier today. I'm going to show you just a little bit. I was in here today, and I was working on my daily affirmation. The thing that I would read, and I'm going to share a little bit with it. I'm going to read it. And I probably skip over a little things, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna read it a little bit. But this is the thing that I'm gonna do 2 times a day. This is the thing that I do 2 times a day. But it said I would achieve my goals. My mind is open to growth, and I am willing to learn daily. I am coachable. Give your own give your own pep talk. Yes. But let me start over. It says that I will achieve my goals. My mind is open to growth, and I'm willing to learn daily. I am coachable. My success happens all year. I am committed to daily devotion to God. The truth about me is lofty, that nothing unworthy of God is worthy of me. I am blessed and highly successful and I have a blessed and highly successful and prosperous business. I touch people's lives globally. I have unlimited abundance in my life, and I'm open to receive all the goods of the universe. I am divinely guided and protected. I am looking forward to my future in WFG. Every day is a gift, and I treasure the experience and the people I meet along the journey. I am my word. I will be my word. I will not be denied my success. I will make $100,000 in commission by the end of 2021 in WFG, helping 10 families a month. Check this out. I am debt free. Big deposits are made easily and frequently. Money comes to me every day. I would have 80K in savings in 2021. I am the biggest tither at my church. I can afford to help my mother more. I will build a team of dedicated and hungry partners that want to help others while helping their family as well as themselves. I am a leader. I inspire those that are around me through my daily example. I am well respected and trusted financial advisor, productivity coach. I attract wealthy, cooperative, and willing clients who gladly pay my fee for service. And then there's more. But that's the way you have to talk to yourself. You don't need to be singing to yourself, telling yourself you stupid. I'm crazy. I'm not going to be. No, baby. No, no, no. You have to tell yourself the things that you want to hear. Tell yourself the things that you tell everybody else. Tell yourself that you can do it. You can do it. So do you read your plan? Do you have a plan for your life? You don't need no resolution. You don't need no New Year's resolution. You need a daily life plan, one that you're going to stick to, one that you're going to stick to. You have to be accountable to who? You. You know, you have to be accountable to you. I got over here in my plan the power of affirmations. Oh, yes. I got over here in my plan the actionable steps. What I'm going to do Monday through Friday. How many people I'm going to talk to every day? How many people I'm going to talk to a week? How many people I'm going to talk to a month? It says I would attend the weekly trainings and big events. I would learn something about the business at least 2 times a week. I would block out on Sundays for planning. I would read my vision and business plan 2 times a week. I would review my plan. I would measure my results. I would keep what's working and change what's not and set weekly outcomes. And then I said I would build accountability for myself, that I would be responsible for to other people. See, this is the thing. Don't get so mighty in yourself that you don't want to be responsible to nobody. That's why it is, thank you, Jesus. That's why it is good for you to have a coach and a mentor. You know, I just invested in a 90-day program, $8,000. And then I invested in another program with the same coach. David Nagel, he's not cheap, but he's amazing. But you got to ask yourself, what is it that you want out of your life? Nothing worth having is free. It ain't free. It's not free. You know, do you know that the gift of life is free, but it costs? The gift of life is free, but it costs. You do not have to be out here in these social media streets, in these natural streets, out here doing what you can versus doing what you want. But what the difference is, what are you willing to do? That's the difference. And I just shared with you all over half of my plan. And there's a lot more on there. And there's a lot of figures on there. There's a lot of other things on there. You got to ask yourself. Now, if I said I'm going to have 80,000 in savings, you know that I got to have a bigger income goal, right? You have to think bigger. Dream bigger. And don't think because you spend 18, personal development should be your biggest bill. Personal development should be your biggest bill because when you develop yourself, you're able to develop other people. You're able to develop countries. You're able to develop families. You're able to develop communities. You're able to develop businesses. You are able to develop so much when you start with you. Start with you. You got to dream bigger. You got to dream bigger. And one of the things that we talked about today is you got to do something that's going to scare you every day. Not scare you one time. You got to do something that's going to scare you every day. But not just to scare you just to be scared. Scare you, and it's going to scare you to a point of movement, and you're moving in the direction that you want to go. Personal development is necessary because, see, if you don't develop yourself when things are growing and changing, there are new innovations. You have to, personal development is vital. It is vital. I would invest in me like no other. I spend a couple of $100 a month on, I mean, here lately I've been buying a lot of books, a lot of books. You have to discover yourself. Cause see, a lot of stuff about yourself, you one, you don't know, and two, you wasn't taught. Cause, excuse me, three, there was nobody can tell you about you. There are some things that are developing in you as you grow. I'm gonna say that again. There are some things that are developing in you as you grow, as you go, as you grow, as you go. There are some things that will develop in you as you grow and go along the way. See, and you've been missing out on your growth because you have been waiting for growth to come before you start. But your growth is as you go. You have to go first. We thank God because of who you are in God. We thank you. Amen. God bless you. You have to go and grow along the way. And as you do that, you will become stronger. You will become wiser. You will be able to do so much more. But we can't sit in one place thinking that I'm waiting. I am waiting. What are you waiting on? What are you waiting on to do what you love? You don't have to live a miserable life thinking that, and you got some people, they figure, life is not even worth it. I get up excited about facing the day. I don't get up wondering what the day gonna bring. Why? Because I plan my day ahead. You have to grow as you go. Get in motion. Get started. Stop waiting. And I want you to know it's not too late. It's not too late. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what decisions you made in the past. As long as you got breath in your body, it's not too late. But I want to encourage you. Don't keep waiting. Don't keep waiting. Because see, when you wait too long, you can make the wrong decision. When you wait too long, it could be too late. Because see, sometimes we will miss an opportunity today by putting it off tomorrow. The only time you ever have is now. Tomorrow is not promised. Live now. Live now. Be a blessing to other people now. Life can be really bored if you just wake up and you sit around and you're sleeping half of the day, you're dragging, you're tired, you're looking funny because you ain't got up and did nothing to your hair, you still got on your night clothes and all these different sorts of types of things. I don't care if you're not even going nowhere. You can get up and put on a t-shirt and some blue jeans. I don't care. Get up out your night clothes and untie your doggone head, okay? Now, I've been trying to... because that's like a pet peeve for me. Get up. I have been even working from home. I don't get up and slide over to my desk in my night clothes. I get up and get dressed every day. Now, I was wearing t-shirts. I was comfortable. But you see, I've been getting up, getting dressed. Because see, I'm dressing for where I'm going. Yeah. We have to start looking at where I want to be and stop thinking, well, I'm just in the house. I'm just doing the best I can. Nobody else is not seeing me. You know what? It doesn't matter if nobody else is seeing you. The first person and the only person that's seeing you is important to should be you first. How do you see you? How do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel different? Do you feel more confident? Do you feel like you want to take more action when you get up and do things, when you get up and get dressed? Because see, when you're dragging around in your night clothes, you figure, well, I'm tired. I don't feel like it. You have to snap up out of that. I used to tell my kids all the time, if you think woke, you'll feel woke. If you put your mind, the word is so powerful. It said, as a man thinketh, so is he. But this is the power behind some of the things that mean to me. When I know I have a busy day and a lot of things to do, I prepare my mind for that. You know, already my day is already, it's already done in my mind. Okay, I know I got to do this. And guess what? I get it done. I get it done. That's the way I roll. I get it done because I've already did it in my head. Therefore, it's done twice. So when it comes down to the actual doing, it's not as hard. But if you have a lot of things to do and the only thing you're doing, amen. Good evening, Ricky. Thank you so much for joining. And the only thing you're doing is complaining about what you got to do, it makes the job so much harder. Mentally preparation daily, it makes the job so much harder. Think about a time that you had something to do. You're like, I don't feel like doing this. I really don't want to do it. Man, I hate I gotta do this. And you started singing a song to you how big it is. When it looks so big, it seems like you don't never get to the end. You know they tell you a watch party never bores. Now, is that really true? It feel like it. How many times have you been watching the clock, waiting to get off of work, and it seemed like it seemed like somebody sitting on the hands of time because it's just sitting there, and it's not. But when you get busy and you're not really focused on the time, you focused on what you focused on. You focused on what you got to accomplish. You focused on what you got to do. It seemed like the time it go by so much faster. But I want to tell you something. Have you noticed when you're doing the things that you love, you lose the track of time? But when you're doing the things that you hate, it takes you the longer time. There's a lesson in that. Start loving what you say you hate. There's a lesson in that. If what you hate take you longer, and if your time is precious, and if your time is that you know that time you'll never get it back. If what you hate take you longer, why not love it and get through with it? Love it and get through with it. Tell yourself, I love doing this. I love doing my job. Love doing your job until you can do the thing that you want to do. And so as long as you got the attitude that I am doing what I can, I'm just doing what I can and something else come up. No. You love that thing to life. And watch it how that change your mindset. Watch how that change your energy. You start telling yourself, I just love doing this. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, like for me, the other day I was like, I had been doing some reading and I was like, oh man, I had waited. It was probably like 12 o'clock and I hadn't ate breakfast. And so I'm like, I said, let me go ahead and get up. But I wanted some eggs and I wanted some pancakes and I wanted some bacon. I was like, I don't feel like cooking. But you know what? I just started singing the song. I said, I just love, love, love. I just love cooking. I love cooking. I just started singing a song to myself. Baby, I went in there and whipped that stuff up. And you know what? It didn't take me long. And was it good? Love. You got to say, I love doing this. I love doing this. Because see, the thing that you hate, it said whatever you resist, it persists. That's a tip for you. The thing that you have been resisting is persistent. The thing that you hate the most, it get bigger. It just get bigger. It get bigger. Have you noticed when you're in traffic? Have you noticed when you're in traffic and you're in a hurry, it seems like everything around you is slow. It's like it's moving like this. But you know what I started doing? And it's not all the time that you're in a hurry, but like sometimes I used to have to do things on my lunch break. So I'll be running to the school or running to pick up medicine or, trying to do different sorts of types of things and trying to get back to work before a meeting. And it seemed like everything around me was slow. And you know what I started doing? I need y'all to check this out. I need you to try it sometime when you're in a hurry and watch how good it works. So I just started telling myself, you know what? I have all the time in the world. I'm not in a hurry. I have all the time in the world. I'm not in a hurry. And things just start working out. I can supposed to be somewhere at, just say 1. And then before I start saying, I have all the time in the world. I'm not in a hurry, this and that. And, before it was like everybody, on the road, they're sightseeing and they're driving slow. You got dogs in the road. You got kids running across the street. You got buses that stop. It's like everything that could slow you down is. That's because your mind is in a hurry. So you in such a hurry, your mind is running like this. And so that means, see, your mind is running like this, and everything around you, it seems like it's doing this. But then you have to calm that storm and say, you know what? I have all the time in the world. I'm not in a hurry. I'm gonna make it on time. I'm not in a hurry. I have all the time. I'm not in a hurry. So then, because when I have all the time in the world, I got my 1,440 minutes. I got this person's 1,400. I got all the time in the world. So things begin to line up, and then I get where I'm going on time. I get where I'm going on time. Have you ever blown a situation out of, where you just blow it up and then you think it really wasn't? It didn't take all that. This is another story I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I go to Domino's here locally, and I had a person that usually give me my order. Oh, she was just so mean and just nasty. What you got? What? Your name is what? What? So one time I told her, I said, let me tell you something. I said, let me tell you something. I said, you look at my face really good. I said, because I come here a lot. I said, don't you ask me my name again. And she looked at me like, who she thinks she is? I said, you remember my name, okay? So the next couple of times I went, she remembered my name and she just was so happy and this and that. So anyway, I sat there because I went there tonight, and she looked and she's like, but she was smiling. She wasn't nasty. She said, I forgot your name. I ain't seen you in a while. I said, Onika. She's like, yeah. I said, but that's good. You didn't forget my face. I said, how's your day going? I hope you have a happy Christmas. I said, and you be safe out here, okay? But see, I took the attitude that she had at first. She had a stink attitude. And see, I could have had a stank attitude too. But see, that ain't the way we do that. You don't do what you do. And so it was a lesson even for the kids in the car. I said, because they tell me that when you put wood on the fire, that means the fire burn. So you just take your wood back. You don't put your wood on the fire. So what I did, even though she was being nasty, when you go pick up the order. So I said, you just kill her with kindness. People cannot be nasty to you when you're nice to them, because it makes them feel a little crazy. It makes them feel, it's like you talking, it's like you go stand out in front of the stop sign and say, now I'm not going to keep on telling you. Now, unless you really, really crazy, you'll be thinking, okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? That's the way we got to stop talking that life. Stop talking to the stop sign of doing what you can versus doing what you want, because you have a choice. You have a choice where you can decide, this is not what I want, this is not what I like, and I don't have to settle for this. Better is on the other side. So look, we get ready to get out of here. I hope I've said something to encourage you, to get you moving, get your mojo going, for you to stop just settling. There's 7.5 billion people in the world, and you come from abundance. Draw from where you came from. We didn't come from lack. Stop thinking that you got to live in lack. There's an overflow out there. Get your little cup and your saucer, baby, where you can catch it. Catch it. And when you catch it, you can give some to somebody else. Look, if you're new to me, this is your girl, Coach O, founder and CEO of Action Speaks Volume Incorporated. I am known as your procrastination strategist, behavior change expert, where I help you to build unshakable confidence, stop procrastinating, get your dreams out of your head into your life. Absolutely, you have a choice. And for you all that's just coming on here, there's a saying that it says that life is the C between the B and the D. Thank you so much, D. It said life is the C between the B and the D. Life is the choices between birth and death. It's the choices that we make. It is the choices that we make. So you choose. You choose then how you would live. And don't say you have to. The life that we live, we get to. One, we get to design it. One, we get to have a voice in it. I mean, two, we get to have a voice in it. Three, we get to decide what we want. You have a choice in your life. You don't have to settle for what nobody give you. You have a choice. Therefore, live the life you desire. Live the life that you design and not the one by default. Look, we getting out of here. I'll talk to you later.